Hollywood has given us some of the most unforgettable stars, whose talents have lit up the silver screen for decades. But not all legends get the time they deserve. Today, we're diving into the lives of actors who left us too soon. These are the stories you won't want to miss. Merritt Buttrick, best known for his roles in Star Trek II and Square Pegs, shined brightly in the 80s before his life was tragically cut short in 1989. David Lochary, a flamboyant favorite in John Waters' underground films, brought unforgettable eccentricity to the screen before his untimely death in 1977. Sal Mineo, the two-time Oscar-nominated actor who starred alongside James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause, left a powerful legacy before his shocking murder in 1976. Lenny Baker, a Tony-winning actor with a gentle presence and sharp wit, made a lasting impression on Broadway and film before passing in 1982. Franklin Seals, remembered as the elegant Dexter Stuffins on Silver Spoons, was a gifted talent whose light went out far too soon in 1990. Steven Stucker, the comedic genius from Airplane, brought outrageous humor to the screen before his life ended far too soon in 1986. Ian Charleson, whose soulful performance in Chariots of Fire earned global acclaim, left the world of theater and film mourning when he died in 1990. Brad Davis, unforgettable in Midnight Express, was a bold and fearless talent whose career was cut short in 1991. Anthony Hamilton, a dashing model turned action star in Cover Up, balanced style and strength until his passing in 1995. John Megna, the child actor who captured hearts as Dill in To Kill a Mockingbird, faded from the spotlight before his death in 1995. Casey Donovan, known for breaking boundaries in adult film and stage, lived a life of bold choices before his passing in 1987. Victor Buono, the rotund villain of classic Hollywood thrillers, delivered grand performances until his untimely death in 1982. Robert LaChourneau, best remembered for his provocative role in The Boys in the Band, died in 1986 after a career filled with boundary-pushing work. Freddie Mercury, the electrifying frontman of Queen, became a music legend before AIDS claimed his brilliant life in 1991. Montgomery Clift, the brooding heartthrob of classic Hollywood, brought raw emotion to the screen until his troubled life ended in 1966. Howard Rollins, best known for his Emmy-nominated role in Roots and In the Heat of the Night, was a powerful stage presence whose light dimmed in 1996. Graham Chapman, the brilliantly absurd mind behind Monty Python, made the world laugh until his untimely death in 1989. Leonard Frey, a standout in The Boys in the Band and Fiddler on the Roof, brought sharp wit and depth to every role before passing in 1988. Michael Jeter, beloved for his quirky charm in Evening Shade and The Green Mile, continued to warm hearts until his death in 2003. John Dahl, who intrigued audiences in Rope and Gun Crazy, left behind a legacy of quiet intensity when he died in 1971. Dak Rambo, known for his roles in Dallas and soaps of the 70s and 80s, lived a dramatic life on and off screen before his death in 1994. Richard Warwick, a striking presence in If and Romeo and Juliet, brought poetic energy to film before passing in 1997. Paul Schenner, unforgettable as the chilling Alejandro Sosa in Scarface, gave commanding performances until his life was cut short in 1989. Gary Bond, the charismatic star of Wake in Fright and a gifted stage singer, left an unforgettable mark before his death in 1995. James Coca, a Tony-winning actor with impeccable comedic timing, lit up both stage and screen until his passing in 1987. Taylor Negron, known for his quirky roles in Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Beyond, brought a unique spark to Hollywood until 2015. Dennis Price, best remembered for his devilishly clever turn in Kind Hearts and Coronets, embodied classic British charm until his death in 1973. Glenn Shadix, the eccentric Otho from Beetlejuice, delighted audiences with his flamboyant humor before passing in 2010. Ben Piazza, a versatile character actor who appeared in the Blues Brothers and the Bad News Bears, quietly delivered memorable performances until 1991. Rock Hudson, the matinee idol who redefined masculinity in Hollywood, became a symbol of strength and vulnerability before his death in 1985. Robert Reed, America's beloved TV dad on The Brady Bunch, balanced his private struggles with a polished public persona until 1992. Roy Marcus Cohn, the controversial attorney who helped shape American politics, lived a fiercely debated life until his passing in 1986. Anthony Perkins, forever etched in cinematic history as Norman Bates in Psycho, brought depth and complexity to every role until his passing in 1992. Anthony Holland, a beloved character actor of stage and screen, charmed audiences with his dry wit before his death in 1988. Paul Bartel, the cult favorite filmmaker and star of Eating Raoul, left behind a legacy of offbeat brilliance when he passed in 2000. Richard Deacon, best known as Mel Cooley on The Dick Van Dyke Show, was a staple of classic TV until his death in 1984. Charles Laughton, the commanding force behind The Hunchback of Notre Dame and witness for the prosecution, redefined acting before his death in 1962. Kenneth Nelson, a trailblazer with the Boys in the Band, gave a voice to a generation before his passing in 1993. Ron Palillo, fondly remembered as Arnold Horshack from Welcome Back, Kotter, brought heart and humor to the screen until his death in 2012. Dick Sargent, who played the second Darren on Bewitched, lived openly and proudly, becoming a quiet advocate before his passing in 1994. Joseph Marr, a sharp-witted actor with scene-stealing charm in films like Heaven Can Wait, continued to delight until his death in 1998. Paul Winfield, an Oscar-nominated powerhouse and sounder and a voice of quiet dignity, continued to break barriers until his passing in 2004. Kevin Conroy, the iconic voice behind Batman, the animated series, became the Dark Knight for generations before his death in 2022. Leslie Jordan, a scene-stealing comic gem in Will and Grace, won hearts with his wit and warmth until his unexpected passing in 2022. Liberace, the flamboyant showman of the piano world, dazzled audiences with glitz, glamour, and virtuosity until his death in 1987. Max Adrian, a distinguished stage performer with the Royal Shakespeare Company, captivated audiences with his dramatic flair until 1973. Ramon Novarro, the silent film heartthrob of Ben-Hur, enchanted early Hollywood with his grace and talent until his tragic death in 1960. Franklin Pangborn, the ultimate fuss budget in classic comedies, became a beloved character actor until his passing in 1958. Roddy McDowall, who grew from child star to sky-fi legend in Planet of the Apes, remained a devoted actor and archivist until 1998. Denham Elliott, the unforgettable Marcus Brody in Indiana Jones, brought elegance and eccentricity to every role before his death in 1992. John Inman, forever remembered as the flamboyantly funny Mr. Humphreys in Are You Being Served, brought laughter and charm until his passing in 2007. Charles Gray, the suave villain of Bond films and the bold narrator of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, commanded the screen until 2000. Nigel Hawthorne, who mesmerized as Sir Humphrey in Yes, Minister, and in The Madness of King George, left behind a legacy of brilliance when he died in 2001. Noel Coward, the masterful playwright and wit of British theatre, captivated the world with elegance and sharp humor until 1973. William Haynes, a silent film star who walked away from fame to live openly and proudly, redefined success on his own terms before passing in 1973. David Ogden Stiers, best known as the cultured Major Winchester on MASH, balanced comedy and grace until his death in 2018. Clifton Webb, the impeccably poised star of Laura and Cheaper by the Dozen, brought style and precision to every role until 1966. Will Geer, the wise Grandpa Walton and a passionate activist, brought warmth and wisdom to both screen and life until 1978. Raymond Burr, who defined courtroom drama as Perry Mason and brought intensity to Ironside, kept audiences enthralled until his death in 1993. Charles Nelson Riley, the flamboyant and quick-witted TV personality of Match Game fame, lit up every screen with humor until his passing in 2007. Hayden Rourke, best known as the meddling Dr. Bellows on I Dream of Jeannie, brought classic comedic timing to television until his death in 1987. Michael Redgrave, a towering figure of British theatre and film, blended intellect and passion in every role until his death in 1985. Louis Edmonds, the gothic voice of Dark Shadows and the regal Langley Wallingford on All My Children, gave soap opera its soul until 2001. Henry Brandon, who mastered villainy in classic films like The Searchers, built a long and versatile Hollywood career until 1990. Dirk Bogarde, the matinee idol turned literary giant, transitioned from war hero roles to complex drama before his death in 1999. Tommy Kirk, the Disney teen star of Old Yeller and the Shaggy Dog, lived a life of youthful fame and quiet resilience until 2021. George Nader, a dashing Hollywood leading man who later found success as a novelist, lived his truth in private until his passing in 2002. Christopher Hewitt, who charmed a generation as the proper and lovable Mr. Belvedere, gave sitcoms a dose of elegance until 2001. Rod McEwen, the soulful poet and singer who gave voice to love and longing, touched hearts around the world until his passing in 2015. Kerwin Matthews, the swashbuckling hero of the seventh voyage of Sinbad, brought fantasy and adventure to life before his death in 2007. Roscoe Lee Brown, with his rich baritone and dignified presence, brought gravitas to every performance until his passing in 2007. Jean Marais, the elegant star of French cinema and muse of Jean Cocteau, blended strength and beauty on screen until 1998. Edward Everett Horton, the comedic gentleman of 1930s Hollywood, added charm and wit to countless classics until his death in 1970. Farley Granger, who starred in Hitchcock's Rope and Strangers on a Train, navigated fame with quiet confidence until 2011. Tab Hunter, the 1950s teen heartthrob with a golden voice and secret strength, lived a courageous life until his death in 2018. Gore Vidal, the sharp-tongued intellectual and cultural provocateur, challenged convention with every word until 2012. Cesar Romero, the debonair star known as the Joker in the 1960s Batman series, kept Hollywood smiling until his passing in 1994. Jonathan Frid, the brooding star of Dark Shadows, turned Barnabas Collins into a gothic icon before his passing in 2012. Maurice Evans, the Shakespearean master who brought theatrical gravitas to roles from Hamlet to Planet of the Apes, left the stage in 1989. Jack Larson, beloved as Jimmy Olsen in the original Superman TV series, lived a rich life as both actor and librettist until 2015. Jim Nabors, who made America smile as Gomer Pyle and stunned with his operatic voice, passed away in 2017 after decades of charm. Rip Taylor, the confetti-throwing king of camp comedy, brought explosive energy and outrageous laughter until his death in 2012. Taylor Mead, the quirky voice of underground film and beat poetry, embodied New York's eccentric soul until 2013. John Fraser, the dashing British actor of El Cid and Repulsion, later shared his life's truths as a candid memoirist before his passing in 2020. Murray Melvin, who stood out in A Taste of Honey and became a beloved character actor, continued contributing to the arts until 2023. Alec McCowan, a brilliant stage actor known for his solo Gospel of Mark performance and Shakespearean mastery, passed away in 2017. Van Johnson, the dashing star of classic Hollywood musicals and dramas, danced his way into hearts across America until his passing in 2008. Geoffrey Bayldon, forever remembered as the whimsical Catweasel, enchanted audiences with his unique charm until his death in 2017. Earl Holliman, a beloved actor known for his roles in Policewoman and The Rainmaker, continues to captivate with his enduring legacy, even as he reaches 2024. John Gielgud, the regal voice of British theatre and cinema, left an indelible mark on both stage and screen until his passing in 2000. Though they've left us, but their work continues to inspire new generations of movie lovers, theatergoers, and dreamers. So, the next time you watch a classic film or enjoy a memorable performance, remember, these legends are with us. If you enjoyed this tribute, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more incredible stories of Hollywood history.